Here in question 1, we're again looking at our Venn diagrams. It's told us that in our class we have 25 students. 15 of them have a cat, 16 have a dog, and 3 have neither. So we know that all these numbers must add up to a total of 25, and 3 have neither. So we've used 2 bits of information so far. Then we know that the total for our cats must be 15, and that the total for our dogs must be 16. But then we also know that these must add up to 22 in total, so that we have a total of 25, because we know there's 3 on the outside. So again, we're just going to use trial and error here. I'm going to start by putting 10 in the middle. If there was 10 in the middle who have both cats and dogs, that means there would be 5 with cats only, because 5 plus 10 is 15, and there would be 6 with just dogs. 10 plus 6 is 16. So if we add these together, does it equal to 25? Well, we get 24 there. So we can see that we're just slightly out. So what we're going to do is change our middle number to something slightly lower. So here we're going to have 9. That means there would be 6 cats, 6 plus 9 is 15, and 7 dogs, 9 plus 7 is 16. Again, we're going to check 6 plus 9 plus 7 is 22, plus this 3 gives you 25. So that now works. If you're completing it like I've done in your exam, just make sure there are no numbers other than the ones you want in your grid. So if you need to, you can rub out the numbers at the bottom. Then the question asks you for the probability that the pupil chosen at random has a cat and a dog. And I'm using that notation you looked at yesterday. So cat and a dog must just be in the middle part of our Venn diagram, and there was 9 people there out of 25, because that's how many there were in total. So question 2 tells you that 450 students are in total, so we know that must add up to 450. 110 of them are in the choir, 240 in the band, and 60 are in both. Therefore we start with that middle section. Now we can work backwards. We know that the choir has a total of 110. So 110 take away 60 gives you 50. And then for the band, we know that the total is 240. We know 60 is in the middle, so therefore there must be 180 on the outside. Now we need to make sure that it equals to 450 in total, and we need to find out how many people are in neither the choir or the band. So if you do 50 plus 60 plus 180, you would get 290, and then if you do 450, take away that 290, you get your answer on the outside. It wants you to then work out the probability that the student chosen is from the choir or the band or both. So we're looking for the probability that it is in either of these 2 circles, including the middle section. So then we just add those 50 plus 60 plus 180, and we get 290 over 450. And that would be our final answer. Our next question, question 3, we have got to draw our own Venn diagram. So we just start by drawing our own Venn diagram. Here we have F for football and C for cricket. We know that 10 students who play football and cricket, which is our middle section. 7 don't play either, so 7 goes on the outside, and there's a total of 14 who play football. So that means our football circle has to equal to 14. Therefore, there must just be 4 who play football alone. It then tells you that there's 21 in total who play cricket, 10's in the middle already, so therefore that must be 11 who just play cricket. It wants you to find the probability that the student chosen at random plays football and cricket. So therefore we are just looking in this middle section for our football and cricket, which is 10 out of the total number of pupils. To get your total number of pupils, you just add your numbers together. So 4 plus 10 plus 11 plus 7, and that is equal to 32. Again, as a probability, you can give it as a fraction or a decimal, but as this is extra work, we're just going to leave it as a fraction. Our next question, question 4. It's told you that the numbers 1 to 15, including 1 and 15, is picked at random. And it tells us in our set are all the whole numbers between 1 and 15, including 1 and 15. It's told you that m is multiples of 3 and f is factors of 24. So to begin with, I'm going to write down all my multiples of 3, which go up to 15. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Next, I'm going to write down my factors of 24. So we know that 1 times 24 is 24. However, 24 isn't between 1 and 15, so we're not going to write that one down. 2 times 12 is 24. 4 times 6 is 24. And finally, 3 times 8 is 24. So these are now all my factors of 24. To work out what goes in the middle, it must be numbers which come up in both lists. So we've got 3, we've got 6, and we've got 12. Then my remaining multiples are 9 and 15. My remaining factors are 1, 2, 4, and 8. Finally, we need to make sure that we've got all the numbers from 1 to 15 on our diagram. So 5, 7, 10, 11, 13, and 14 all must go on the outside. Part A is asked for the probability that the number chosen is a multiple of 3, given that it is a factor of 24. So because it's told us it's a multiple of 3, given that it's a factor of 24, we know that we are only looking at our circle here, because it's told us that it's given that it is a factor of 24, so we know that it must be a factor of 24. And to work out the probability that it's a multiple of 3, we count how many numbers we've got here. So we have got 3 numbers out of a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. So therefore our probability is 3 over 7. Part B is then asked for the probability that the number chosen is a factor of 24, given that it is a multiple of 3. So again, we are only looking at our multiple of 3 circle, because that's given. To work out which is a factor of 24, again it must be the numbers in the middle. So that is 3 out of 5, because we count how many numbers there are in that circle, which is a total of 5. So our fifth question, our set is all of the even numbers above 20 and less than 50. So again, to begin with, I'm going to start by writing all of my even numbers between 20 and 50, but making sure I do not include 20 and 50. So now I've written all of my numbers. These are the numbers which must appear in my Venn diagram. In set A, we know we've got the numbers 26, 30, 32, 44 and 48. And in set B, we've got 22, 26, 34. So straight away, we can see that there's 26 in both set A and set B. That leaves us with 30, 32, 44 and 48 in set A, and 22 and 34 in set B. So now we need to write down all the numbers which we haven't yet included. That's 24, 28, 36, 38, 40, 42 and finally 46. Part B, it's told us that the number is chosen at random from our set. Work out the probability that the number is in the set A and B. So we remember that notation. That tells us to have a look at this middle part of our Venn diagram, and that means there's 1 out of, and now we need to work out how many numbers are in total. There are 14 numbers in our set, and you can just count these by looking at this part of our question. So therefore our probability is 1 out of 14. Our final question, it tells us that in our set we have 29 students in total. This time it's given you some algebra. However, we know if we add up each part of our Venn diagram, it has to equal to 29. So 7 plus 4 plus 2x plus x plus 3 has to equal to 29. We've got an equation with one unknown that we can now solve. So we collect together our x's and we collect together our numbers. That gives us 3x plus 14 is equal to 29. We can now solve this by subtracting 14 from both sides and then dividing both sides by 3. That now gives us that x must equal to 5. So therefore 2x must equal to 10 and x plus 3 must equal to 8. Now we've got rid of our algebra and replaced it with our numbers, we can answer these two questions. What's the probability that the student has a sister? So we are looking at our sister circle here. Well, we've got 10 has a sister only and 4 who has both. So in total that is 14 out of 29. And part B, it says one of the students who has a brother is chosen at random. So we know straight away that it's narrowed down just to our brother circle because we are told that he has a brother. What is the probability that they have a sister? So in this case, we have only got 4 out of 11 because there's only 4 who have both a brother and sister out of a total of 11 in that brother circle.